How's it going, YouTube? Forsaken Classics here. Let's talk about tools needed for around the house, or if you want to get started in automotive. That way you can actually take the power back and start working on your own stuff. As you can see by the table here, the assortment of tools, we're going to go through each one of them and explain why it is important to have it to be able to work on your own stuff. We're going to start with screwdrivers. I bought this pack of screwdrivers at a garage sale for $10. They're Klein tools, and I mean, it's pretty obvious why you need screwdrivers. I mean, you need to tighten stuff or take it loose. Pry bar, even though it's not recommended, but in a pinch you could use it that way. Hammer. Do I need to say more? Come on, it's a hammer. Let's move on to pliers. You got needle nose. You got a combination pair of vice grip / needle nose. You got channel locks. I mean, that's a name brand, or adjustable pliers technically is the technical name. You got your regular lineman's pliers. I mean, this is the most common pair you'll find, and honestly, this is what I would start with. You'll find as you go what you need to work on things, and if you're not in a hurry, best place to source stuff is a garage sale, because that's where you find the best deals. If not, then I recommend going to Harbor Freight and picking up tools that way. I'll explain later why I say Harbor Freight, but for now, let's continue on.
This is Editing Don. I totally forgot to tell you why, so I'm going to tell you right now. I had the honor of working with a very experienced technician at my first automotive job, and his advice was, when buying tools, buy the cheapest that you can to get the job done, and if that tool breaks in the future, buy the absolute best that you can afford or find. That way you're not going out spending thousands of dollars initially just to get set up to be able to work on your own stuff at a basic level. And Steve, if you're still out there, I greatly appreciate it, and it's a lesson that I will never forget.
You got an adjustable crescent wrench. This is a Husky though. I mean, it's cheaper. And there's another one there. But you could loosen and tighten many fasteners with those because they're adjustable. A regular pair of vice grips, you know, because sometimes you just can't get enough grip with these. You could crank down on these and adjust them with this nut in the back. It makes it easy for, I mean, you can even clamp these on the side of a table if you adjust them and hold something in place. I don't recommend doing it with the kitchen table because you might leave marks, but junk tables like this, perfect. A level, great for hanging pictures, making sure that if you're doing something like fabrication, I mean, that's a little more advanced, making sure that things are level on your frame and stuff. A pair of scissors, actually very handy for cutting tougher tapes, vinyls, getting into clamshell packaging, obviously. You have Allen wrenches. These are T-handles. They're a little bit nicer because you get more torque on them. But having a set of these, because automakers like to use Torx. Well, that's Torx, that's another thing. I hardly ever use Allen wrenches. I know you're not supposed to, but I use Torx bits on Allen heads. I don't know, they're just a little bit more handy in my hand. If it feels like it's going to cam out or something like that, I'll switch to an Allen wrench, but anyways, Allen wrenches are cheaper than Torx. Good starting point there. And I think that's everything on this table. Oh, box cutter. I mean, ooh, that's rusty. I'm gonna get tetanus if I'm not careful. Anyways, I mean, to trim things, pretty obvious. If you have any questions about these tools, don't be embarrassed to put it down in the comments.
I also do have an Instagram that's linked down in the description, And if you want to private message me, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Okay, on to the next section. We have a stud finder. I mean, I'm sure you can figure out what it's for. Hopefully. Paintbrushes. I mean, touch up, stuff like that. Even spreading wood glue. They work actually really good so you don't make a mess. Basic wrench set. Socket sets. I mean, you pick these up dirt cheap at garage sales, and they're not that expensive at Harbor Freight or Walmart. You got a miniature screwdriver set, drill bit magazine. It has some bits. I've used this a lot, and I broke a lot of bits out of it, so yeah, this is just one I found around the house. A drill, doesn't have to be fancy, and tape. Oh, hold on. This don't belong here. I'll show you where that belongs in a minute. Now, the tools that you might not know what they are, let's go ahead and go through them and what their advantages are and disadvantages. Let's start with needle nose pliers. Needle nose pliers are great for getting into little crevices, grabbing stuff. Ooh, you don't want to see my foot. Grabbing stuff and stuff like that. Whereas you try to get this down in here to grab it, you're not going to. Then you got the adjustable pliers. They're more for high torque situations, such as tightening up pipes and other stuff like that. If you got a bolt that's really hard to crank down. And also, look how wide these things go. I mean, you could pretty much loosen a nut that's about 1.5 inches in diameter. I mean, for a cheap tool like that, pretty impressive. Allen keys. They fit the hex head. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. That's why I say hex. And it's a female socket that you style screw that you put that in. And oh yeah, tape measure. You know, measure once, cut twice.
Is that my tape measure?
I'm in danger.
Maybe. That was staged, by the way. I'll be completely honest and tell you if something is just for comedy. I try to be as real as possible. Now let's go through the different types of tape and their uses. You have vinyl electrical tape, which is good for insulating wires. You have masking tape. It's good for holding glass or stuff in place, and also its intended purpose for masking off areas you don't want to overspray on cars. You have duct tape, which has a very special function. It belongs there. If you're fixing it with duct tape, you're not doing it right. The only time you really should use duct tape is an absolute emergency. It is not a permanent fix. Even for ductwork, there's better tapes. This metal tape is designed for ductwork, and it's not duck like quack quack tape, it's duct like ductwork. Now that's all said and done. If you have any further questions about the basic tools I believe that everybody should have, so it gets the power back in their hands to repair their own stuff and save on bills, please put it down in the comments. And with that being said, thank you for watching. A like is always appreciated, and a subscription will bring you future content to try to teach you things that I know that maybe the average person doesn't know. That is my goal with this channel. Not just automotive, but just working on anything in general. So, once again, thank you very much. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a good week. Thank you.